I really hope I stay in focus in this video. I guess if you're watching it, I have, but I'm nervous right now because the contacts I'm wearing are definitely an old prescription and they're not strong enough, so I can't really see myself that well. And right now I feel like the tapestry behind me looks like I'm wearing a big hat, so I'm feeling very anxious right now. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. For the video today, I wanted to sit down and go through some recent favourites over the past couple months, just things that I've been loving for autumn 2023. Some of these things I know I would have mentioned in previous videos, and some things are certainly things that I haven't mentioned before, but either way, all of these products or entertainment favourites I have loved and really wanted to share my thoughts on. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to start with the product favourites. Now, as I have mentioned, these favourites are for autumn 2023. In Australia here, we are actually going into winter now, but obviously it was autumn, and as the weather is getting a little bit cooler, I have changed my products up a little bit, and some of these favourites reflect that, like this first one. So the first product I wanted to mention is the Mecca Everyday Face Oil, and I actually feel like I've used a fair bit of this so far. Probably a third of the bottle. It is 30 mils, so I do feel like that's a pretty good amount to use in not such a long time frame, since a little bit goes a long way. I do want to mention as well, I don't even think I bought this. This must have been as a free gift from Mecca. I know that the Mecca Cosmetica sort of skincare products come in beauty loops a lot, or I think this one was probably a birthday gift last year. I do actually feel like most face oils are created equal. I think that out of anything I've used in the past, they're all pretty similar unless they are a targeted serum. But the reason why I wanted to mention this is because it smells like cinnamon to me. I don't know if anyone else will find this, but when I first used it, I was so surprised because I don't have any of the outside packaging anymore. If it came in a box, it certainly doesn't say that it's like a spiced face oil or anything like that, but I love the scent. It has just been so cozy and nice to use every day. I think maybe to think about cinnamon scented or spicy sort of face oil sounds absolutely deranged, but I promise I think it is such a nice product to use. From my experience, the Mecca Cosmetica products are pretty affordable. Either way, if you like cinnamon and sort of more, I guess, heavily spicy sort of scented products, I would think check this out just to see if you agree with me. I just thought it was a little bit unique as a face oil, but as it stands, it is nice and moisturizing. Clearly I've used quite a bit, just trying to keep my skin soft and protected while the weather is starting to get a bit cooler. Another product I wanted to mention that is also skincare, and another way that I've been protecting my skin, is a sunscreen. This is the MCO Beauty Invisible Sunscreen. It says that it's a 3-in-1 primer, moisturizer, and SPF. My, I guess, main requirement for this is the fact that it does have the sunscreen in it, and I think it does a really good job. I like the fact that it is very easily accessible just to buy at the supermarket. I have quite a few sunscreen brands that I like. I've spoken about Ultraviolet before. There's another one that I like in a spray. I want to say Naked Sundays. What I really like about this is the fact that it is very easy to purchase just from the supermarket. It's nice and affordable, especially compared to some of my other favorite sunscreens, since I do like some high-end ones. And while I still like those, I think that this has been nice to mix it up. I love the fact that it is 50 plus, and I can't really say how much I notice the primer and moisturizer factor. I think I do notice the moisturizing factor a bit, since it doesn't make my skin feel dry or stripped when I wear this. Plus it's not very shiny. I would recommend checking it out if you come across it. Again, it's really affordable sunscreen and it works very well. So the next favorite I wanted to mention is something that I'm wearing at the moment. No, it is not the only t-shirt that I seem to own, my Fleetwood Mac shirt, but it is these ear cuffs which I have on at the moment. I'm just going to put in a zoomed in sort of clip so you can see better. But these ear cuffs I'm wearing on both ears, I am obsessed with. For the longest time, I have wanted to get multiple ear piercings. I love the look of having a full ear of piercings, but I'm just too chicken shit to do it. I'll be honest, I think about 20 years ago, my older sister had a friend who had her, I don't even know what it's called, helix, is that the top one, pierced, and her whole ear shriveled up. It sounds like an urban legend, but this happened and it's really clearly stuck with me, and I'm just so scared that something like that would happen to me. I realized as well, I didn't actually mention where these are from, and these are all from Lavisa. I've seen different places you can buy them, but when I saw these, I thought it was easy, again, just to pick up. I've got 2 sets here, and I think I only bought 2 packs. I must have taken some out, the ones that I'm wearing now. I do want to try some of these other ones because some of these look really cool. Obviously, I don't have the ear piercings all the time. They're just clip-ins and sort of spirals that loop in. And now I'm making my ears very red by doing this. Again, I can't really see. The next favorite I have to share is very, I guess, relevant to the season. These are a little bit hard to show as well, so I'll make sure I put in footage too. But these are the sort of very popular, and I suppose maybe I'm behind the times a bit, but I feel like they've been popular for a little while, translucent fleece or thermal lined tights. So they just look like black here, kind of light black, but on the inside it is thermal lined sort of fabric, and it gives the illusion of looking like you're wearing a translucent sort of pair of tights, but you're really warm and cozy inside. I know quite a few different places sell these. I got mine from Amazon. I nearly bought them from another website that wasn't Amazon for quite a bit more money, but I thought I'd take a chance and buy the cheap ones first to see if I liked them. I saw hit and miss reviews, but honestly, the link that I found to buy these was, I think, pretty good. They were Prime, came the next day. There are certain things with mine that I wanted to mention. The thermal sort of lining doesn't go all the way. It's not super noticeable on the foot because it does blend, but I feel like you can kind of see around the ankle. I wear mine with boots, so it's not really a problem, and the main thing is I feel so warm wearing these, so I think I might get a couple other pairs, possibly one without the lining where it's just the still translucent illusion, but without the lining. I've just said that, I realize. It's going to be warm but not as warm, so they'll still be thicker and less likely to snag than proper translucent tights. And I guess I'll just see how I go. For now, certainly one pair has worked out great, and I'll make sure I include the link down below in case you want to grab some as well, because these were a really good price and I'm happy with the quality of them for that. Now I'm going to talk about entertainment favorites, the first of which I am going to try my hardest not to talk about for too long because I've spoken about it so much in previous videos. Of course, I'm talking about Daisy Jones and the Six. I've already said I was obsessed with the book, but I suppose the favorite I'm talking about is the show, which had come out a couple months ago by the time this video is up, and it still is a favorite for the past season. I can't remember the last time I was so obsessed with a show. I loved the soundtrack, and even though I knew what was happening with the story since I had listened to the audiobook, I still really loved it, and I feel like I've recommended it to everyone I know. I'm going to do my last chance here to recommend it on my channel in case you haven't seen it yet. I think it is definitely worth the hype, and the soundtrack as well, because I definitely am still listening to that. I think it's really good music, so I wanted to mention that really quickly. I didn't want to talk about it for too long again because I could just go on and on, but I just wanted to say that's definitely been a favorite. And if you haven't seen it, try and watch an episode after you watch this video. Please, you won't regret it. Now, the next couple of favorites I wanted to talk about are books. I've got 2 favorites I wanted to talk about. I have my Kindle here, but for the sake of having something more pretty to look at than this little grey rectangle, I will be putting in pictures of the covers of the books. I wanted to mention as well, in case you haven't heard me talk about my reading, which I doubt because I've been talking about it a lot, I realized, over my past couple videos and this year so far. I would say that I am primarily a thriller fan when it comes to reading. That's my favorite genre. I love thrillers, horrors, and a couple other things here and there, but I would mainly describe myself as a thriller fan. I love spooky, silly, sort of what I call shit thrillers, normally with plot lines about amnesia and, you know, spouses killing each other, people spying on their neighbors, that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? However, through a strange turn of events, my favorite books that I wanted to talk about now over the past couple months are both romance. I never thought I'd see the day. I don't really like romance as well, that's the thing. But these two books were just so good, I've got to talk about them. I have spoken about the first one in a previous video when I just did a quick sort of review on all the books that I've read so far this year. Of course, the book I'm going to be talking about now is A Perfect Vintage. I'll put in the cover here. It is such a beautiful cover, first of all. I love this. I think, and I'm pretty sure I spoke about this in the review video at the point when I spoke about A Perfect Vintage, I want to buy the book. Now, at the time I reviewed it, it wasn't released yet, but now, when this video is up, it is out. So I would heavily recommend checking it out. I think, like I said, I do want to buy it and support Chelsea Fagan, the author. I loved this book for a few reasons. I think overall, while I've said it is romance, it is women's fiction and it's got a lot more going on, which I did say. Everyone probably has a bit of a different tolerance to the sort of steamy sort of scenes. I like them, but it's not my favorite thing. Again, I'm not a big romance reader, but I think it was the perfect amount. And it was also the perfect amount of romance because it wasn't just romance. The book is about Leah Mortimer, I think is her name. The main character, Leah, she is an American who works in France to flip old chateaus, old buildings, into fancy hip hotels. And when she's doing her job at her current assignment, she falls in love with someone a little bit unexpected. This isn't a surprise. The plot point is the fact that she falls in love with her boss's son, and it is all above age, but there is a bit of an age gap there. He is a younger man by a reasonable bit, and she is in her mid-30s, I believe. Now, this book, I think, was just so descriptive. It was very beautiful, and it was just a fun read. I think if you can pick it up right now and you're in the Northern Hemisphere where it's summer, it is the perfect summer read. On the flip side, if you read it in winter, that's not really a bad thing either because you'd be transported to the beautiful French countryside, lovely summer days. It would be glass of wine in hand. You'd just be completely transported away. Again, I think the reason why I liked this, even though I've said I'm not typically a romance fan, it had a lot more going on. It had friendships, it had beautiful sort of scene setting, just describing beautiful places. I think that's one of the things I love the most about it. And now the second book I wanted to mention that is also a favorite. I think maybe I'm enjoying a lot more since I just finished reading it. Sometimes this happens. As soon as I finish a book, I'm like, that's amazing. And both of these books were 5-star reads for me. I think there's still a sliding scale on 5 stars. I've definitely had other 5-star books in this time, but the reason why I have to talk about this now is because it is so fresh in my brain, and I think a lot of other people have loved this and will love this. Obviously, it is a very popular book already. Happy Place by Emily Henry. This book is about Harriet. She's the main character, and she's got a couple friends who each year go away on a summer holiday to one of the friends' parents' houses, and she goes there, all the friends go there, the friends bring their partners, and Harriet also has her ex go there. They kind of have to pretend to be together for the sake of the friends for certain reasons that get revealed in the book. It is interesting for that fact, but again, what I love most about this book is the friendship. So this book has a lot of romance and it's very sweet and cute, and I will admit I did cry at the end. It is very sweet, but not sickly sweet. I love this a lot more than the other Emily Henry books that I have read, and I think it is because of the female friendships in this book. They feel like real people. They are very sweet, and I love the core friend group in this book. I just think it was so heartwarming. Now the last favourite I wanted to mention is a favourite memory of the past couple months. I've done a lot of... Actually no, I haven't done a lot of things in the past couple months. That's a lie. I've been at home a lot. I've been playing Animal Crossing and reading. Again, I've been reading a book every single week throughout the year. I've spoken about this a lot, hence why it's a big subject in a lot of my videos. So I don't really have that much to chat about, that many updates, but certainly one of the big things I have done is going to see Moulin Rouge at QPAC. Now, I'll admit as well, I hadn't seen Moulin Rouge in its entirety until recently this year, and I love that as well. Another soundtrack that I've been obsessed with recently, but the musical was amazing. I know a couple people who are going to see it before the end of the season, and I think it's in Brisbane for a little while longer, so if you can get tickets, I would definitely recommend. I think my favourite part about it was the sets. The stage and the big Moulin Rouge sign was just amazing. I am a sucker for that, and all the sparkles and the costumes. I think it was amazing, so had to mention that as well. Alright, so that's it for probably the most random bunch of favourites I've ever had, but I really loved everything I did talk about, and maybe some of the things I spoke about you will like as well if they're new to you, or if you know them already, maybe you'll love them. On that note, if there's anything you've had as a favourite for the past couple months or this year so far, let me know, because I would love to hear from you, and maybe other people in the comments might like to find something new that they might like as well. Also, if you've got any grievances, add them down below. Tell me if there's something you dislike. I feel like that's something I always struggle with since I try to be positive, and if I kind of don't like something, I kind of give up on it. I give it to someone else or don't dwell on it too much. So that's my stance on the matter. But you know, if you've got a product dislike or something, let me know. On that note, I realized I did have a DNF this month for the first time ever, but this really doesn't seem like the time, and my battery is dying, so I'm just going to be leaving you here. I wanted to thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please give me a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already. But like I said, I will be leaving you here, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!